House Husbands, a fantasy football podcast. I'm your host, Dustin, and I'm joined along with Atik and Rem. Fellas, it's been a while. We haven't been able to get our schedules to come together, but we finally made it. How are y'all doing today?
Man, I'm just glad to be back. Excuse the little southern drawl if you hear it a little stronger. Had some dental work done, and Kamish is still feeling the pain, so might pop one of these painkillers here in 3, 2, 1 now.
How about you, bro?
I'm doing pretty good. Had a few weeks of work, and I finally had a break, and I'm glad we can meet on this lovely Wednesday afternoon.
Good deal.
Wednesday evening.
You see that? Even when the commish is in pain after his dental work, he still shows up. So I appreciate that.
No worries, man. I want to give a big shout out to Rim. You know, he's the magic behind the curtains, bro. So big shout out to him.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be able to do it without y'all two bringing the content, and appreciate both of y'all.
All right, enough of the circle jerk.
Yeah, that was cute. I'll just say. So now that we just all circle jerk each other, if we have anybody else still listening, thank you. But all right, well, let's jump right in. So it's the off season, and of course, we just had OTAs, and everyone looks amazing. Everybody looks great. So we're not really going to worry about the bullshit. But the main thing I want to talk about is Alexander Mattison, and I think our commissioner Atik has just got to have Chubb by me mentioning his name. We know you love Alexander Mattison. I wanted to ask you a couple questions. One, in the leagues that you have him, where did you get him? What round? And where would you? I know you have a draft coming up in a couple of days. Where do you see him going now?
So that's a good question. So I honestly, I feel like I made off like a bandit with Mattison, because I got him in either the 11th or 12th round, or I traded maybe like a 14th or 15th for him in the draft. So I got him basically in every league, and it was late everywhere. So I feel like a bandit. And as far as where do I see him going now, I'll just say this.
I know you don't want to say probably because you have a draft coming up, so I'll feel you. But
you know what?
You're right.
I was telling my wife, winners, we only compete with ourselves. So I give my secrets out because, I'm only competing with myself. Anyways, I don't think there's a lot of other backs who have as good a situation as Mattison. We're talking the number one running back in, one of the top 3 offenses in the league. And he doesn't have much competition behind him. To say his legs are fresh is an understatement, and he just signed a contract, so he's there for a couple more years. So the situation is really good, and I just think it boils down to would you rather have the athlete or the situation? Because Mattison isn't as explosive, but he's going to produce just because of the situation he's in. So me personally, I will always take the situation, because in my previous fantasy football lives, I've gotten burned by the likes of Will Fuller, Kareem Hunt, Josh Gordon, got a little scared from Tyreek Hill back in the day. Me and my wife used to call him Baby Killer back in the day. But, I'll take the situation just because of that, because of my past experiences. But I see Mattison probably going in anywhere between the 5th and the 6th round now. So it's an incredible jump from, the 11th or 12th.
I agree. So I agree with some of the things you said, and I disagree with some of the things you said. So I agree that I think 5th, back of the 5th, middle of the 6th, somewhere between there is a fair assessment. I checked everywhere that I have him, because I drafted before this news. Everywhere I have him, I got him anywhere between the 10th round and the 13th round.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's great value there. Now, like I said, 5th, 6th, I'm fine with pulling the trigger. I see him I don't see him as high of a running back as you do. I think he's a running back 2 with upside. Um, I assume you see him as a running back 1. Is that correct?
Why do you like to ask me those direct questions, Dustin?
Because it's just it's just an easy yes or no question.
Uh, I think you are correct with RB2 with upside, but I think I definitely see him putting up RB1 numbers. But if you're gonna hold a gun to my head, I'll say RB2 with upside.
Okay, smart man. I see him. Not that I see him drafted around J.K. Dobbins, Miles Sanders, Rashad White, DeAndre Swift. I see him as that type of running back where, yeah, they're gonna have their good weeks. I don't think any of those names that I said is elite talent. But one thing that I disagree with, or I don't really see eye to eye with what you're saying, is where you draft the situation over the talent. I'm the opposite. I like to draft talent over the situation, and for the fact that situations change, you know, draft capital and talent doesn't. And what I mean by that is, yeah, he doesn't have anybody that can compete with. He's got Ty Chandler and Kenny, I can't even say his last name, as his backups, but Ezekiel Elliott doesn't have a home yet. Dalvin Cook is not going to go back, but for all intents and purposes, he could go back, because he's in no rush. And so they can bring somebody in. And unless he's getting 65, 70% of the work like Dalvin Cook was at one point in time, I just don't see him as an elite talent. I think he's got a great opportunity as of now, but it's also still way early. And N'Keal Harry is a name that comes to mind that was drafted, and he was a first round rookie draft pick. I think he was a first round draft pick in real life too, and he had a great situation, and he didn't turn out to be anything. Josh Doxson. I know those are wide receivers, but those are just 2 names that came to mind that they had a lot of hype around them. They were high draft capital, and they were busts because the situation changed. They didn't produce, and they moved on. And Mattison is only on a 2-year contract, so it's not like they invested 4 years in him. He's only on a 2-year contract. So I think he does have a lot of gas in the tank. I think he does have fresh legs. I think he will have good games. I think he has potential, but also, I think they're going to throw more, especially with the addition of Addison, and with this being Kirk Cousins last year, most likely in Minnesota. I think they're going to be more of a passing offense, and we'll see. I wouldn't draft him any earlier than the 5th round, just because the talent that's there, it's more proven, and I would rather those guys. But Rem, what do you think?
I think he's second RB2 or below. You never know what's going to happen.
Are you drafting him on any of your teams?
If he's available at a good value, I will be. But I'm not as high as y'all 2 are on him. I think he's in a great situation, but it's more of a what have you done for me lately? I want to see what he does, and if I miss out on Alexander Mattison, I miss out on Alexander Mattison. I think you have a bunch of other running backs that you can draft, and anywhere from the 1st to the 7th round that are better than him.
I like the examples that y'all are putting out there, but I'll just say, when I say situation, I'm thinking of players like y'all remember Michael Turner in the past?
Yeah.
Or maybe like a Darren Sproles. Those situations where the backup running backs are, they're considered, really good backup running backs, backup RB2s, but never really got the chance. But once they got the chance, that situation was right for them. So I think the wide receiver situations are a little bit more volatile, but the running back situations, I like what he's in. Respect your feelings. So I think it's time to put a bet out there. I think he's going to be a top 10 RB. We got the recording after the season. Do you think he's going to be a top 10 RB? We can put a bet to it right now.
Oh, I'll bet that.
Wait, Tom, what are we betting?
I'll bet that
One of
all
your
day.
24 picks? We betting the first round.
Oh,
24
okay.
pick?
Look at Ram. I like that. I was gonna monetize this, but I like that even better. I don't know if we're allowed to do that, but so you're saying hold on. You're telling me that by the end of the season, you think that Alexander Mattison will be a top 10 running back in fantasy football. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I'm saying that.
See, this is tough because I have.
Yeah,
do y'all know?
How about this? You have to drop him in all your leagues if he's not.
No, hell no. That doesn't help me. I'm not in all of his leagues. No. What do you want to bet?
Look, we're not gonna hold the show up. We'll figure out a way.
No. We're gonna figure this out right now. I take your bet. Now, what are we betting?
All right. I think the only proper thing to bet is a rookie pick. I say let's bet a third rounder.
I don't get out of bed for a third rounder. I need better.
What are you thinking? Put something on the table.
I mean, I don't think.
Hold on. I don't have anything but a first. I don't have anything but 6 first.
Oh, that was a little humble brag there.
Hold on, I don't have any second or thirds or fourths.
Well, it ain't. We can't be betting picks anyway.
Look. Let's figure this out later. We'll let the masses know what the bet is. We'll make sure everybody's informed, so they're keeping it. They're going to hold us accountable, for our bet at the end of the season. Let's not hold this show up, but we'll make sure everybody knows what the bet is. Alexander Mattison, RB. Was it top 10 RB?
I'll give you top 12 if you'd like.
Yeah, let's do top 12. I was actually thinking top 12. Let's do top 12.
Top 12. I'll give you top 12.
That's fair. Right. That's fair.
All right. I'm down to say let's bet $20.
Wait, can we clarify if it's
that's easy.
Top 12 in fantasy numbers or top 12 in
fantasy?
The league?
Fantasy running backs.
Top 12 fantasy RB.
$20. That's what we do. Easy, simple, quick. Not a lot of money. All right, cool. Well, I'll take you up on that bet. All right, let's move on. Anybody, y'all have any other news that you want to share or any other comments on Madison before we move on? No? Shaking your head isn't good audio or podcast.
I said nah. I said nah. All
right. Sounds good. So I know it's been a little bit since we've had our rookie draft, I'm sorry, but Atik wanted to review the rookie draft, and we don't need to go over each pick, but basically I want to ask y'all, Atik, I'll ask you first. Who do you think won the draft, the rookie draft? Who do you think improved their team the most? Give me your top 2 or 3 teams that we're going to start with. I swear I'm not addicted, and we'll finish on the Real House Husbands, a fantasy football league. So we're going to do the 2 leagues. First one, we're going to start with I swear I'm not addicted. What 2 or 3 teams do you think benefited the most from the rookie draft?
Okay, I think it's definitely okay. So it's no way we can go without saying Casey Thompson. He basically drafted a whole nother team. What is it? Will Levis, Benji, Jamar Gibbs, Rice. A whole team. Who else? Let's see. We got the kid who the tight end who landed in Buffalo. Got the running back in Seattle. Got a whole defense down here. Will Anderson, Drew Sanders, Jack Campbell. So I think he definitely won the draft. He invested for the next 5 years, basically. So, and besides that, you got to look at Petey Boy. You already know he loves he's almost like R. Kelly. He loves his young guys. You got Michael Mayer. You got Sam Laporta. You know, you got Miller down in New Orleans. So I think he just did a really good job of staying young. I think he got, how many picks does he have next year to go along with that? I can't see. 1 second. He only has one 2024 pick. Okay, that's not like PD. But anyway, I think KC and PD, those were the top two teams that won the draft. As far as who improved their team from the draft, I might have to go with any given. So I think he filled out his wide receiver court, which was his biggest need, and got another defensive lineman down there. So I will say he will be honorable mention.
So you have CK Thompson, you have PD Boy, and then you have who else?
I have any given Sunday as honorable mention.
Okay, got it. So those are your top three. So we're very similar. It's there's no way you cannot say CK Thompson. I mean, like you said, he drafted a whole goddamn team. He had he got the top 4 running backs in Robinson, Gibbs, Charbonnet, and Spears, not necessarily in that order. But he added Will Levis, who I actually think he's going to be something. I think he landed on a great team. I have a feeling we will see him this year, but if not, at the very least, he'll be the starter next year, hands down. And then Rashee Rice, he's got upside at case in Kansas City, and then he got a bunch of defensive players and a couple of backup running backs, Tank Bigsby, but he definitely won the draft. My second person is any given Sunday. I love the wide receivers he drafted: Quentin Johnson, Jonathan Mingo, and Marvin Mims. And then he was able to draft Devin Achane, who I personally think, he's just too tiny. He's 5'9", 188, but he landed in a good position so long that they don't bring anybody like Dalvin Cook or anyone else into Miami, which is another example of how situations change, but we're past that. And then, I got to give it to my man Atik. After that, really, like everybody only either had no picks, only had 1 or 2, or just had a bunch of like 3rd and 4th round picks. But I got to give it to my man Atik as honorable mention as my third. You got 2 stud wide receivers, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and Zay Flowers. So potential, future number 1 on their team. Whenever DK leaves, and Zay Flowers could easily be the number 1 on his team now, but time will tell. But anyway, I think with them bringing Todd Monken in as the OC in Baltimore, they're gonna pass more. I think he's a sneaky pick, but I'll give it to you because I think I told you had the worst team, and I feel bad, so you can have it.
Hey, I didn't want to toot my own horn, but I thought I did good in this draft because I definitely moved up to get Zay Flowers, and you guys are forgetting I traded a bunch of back end rookie picks to get Mattison. A long time
I think
ago.
I think it was a 2, 3, 4, and 5, right?
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
2, 3, 4, and 5 for like Jared B, if I'm not mistaken. Let's look at that quick. Transactions. It was that this league or was it
it was this league. Here we go.
Here you go. 2, 3, 4, and 5.
2, 3, 4. Yeah, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, so that's not bad. I mean, those picks aren't really, once you get past the second round, and even the second round is a toss up, but once you get past the second round, it's landed.
Yeah.
That was a
I'll
good
take that. JSN, Zay Flowers and Mattison, it's all about collecting talent with this team, So I think I traded for TJ Hawkinson. I traded for TJ Hawkinson, got some good draft capital this year and 6 first rounders next year. So, y'all better win now.
So,
It's a lot of talent on this team with them picks coming in next year.
Rem, I'm not sure if you got a chance to look over any of these teams, but do you have any insight, or you want us to move along?
I mean, I just have to agree with y'all with the CK Toms. I've been scrolling through as y'all been talking and see if I mean, I think Atik did a great job filling in some wide receivers, young wide receivers. Any given Sunday didn't do too bad. I mean, I'd have to go look at your team, but you got a stud quarterback. Talking about you, Dustin, stud quarterback, stud running back, who I actually think is going to be number 1 in Chicago. But yeah,
You think Roschon Johnson is gonna win the job?
Yeah, I think so. I believe so. At least halfway through the season.
I know that you have special insider information for from my Bears. What you hearing out there?
I'm not hearing anything, man. I haven't been in Chicago in a minute, so
talking about the Bears, who are going to be last place in the North.
Shut the fuck up, man.
Bears. I'm telling you, they ain't winning the division. But anyway, go on.
No.
Anyways, Justin Fields going to take a lead, but that's going to be a 3-headed monster back there, running back. It's going to be a running back by committee. That's what I'm hearing. So, I think I like Herbert back there. I think that's the kid's name, but I still think it's hard to touch somebody back there. I think I got Freeman in one of my leagues, but I think he's just pretty much going to be a utility man this year.
Yeah, he's just added for depth. I think it's either going to be Herbert or Johnson. So
Johnson. I think Herbert. I think they're going to keep Herbert in the role that he's used to playing, which is third down back, and I think Foreman. I think Foreman is going to be the week 1 starter. Hope I'm wrong though. Hope I'm wrong, because I think Roschon Johnson is a good talent, and we'll have the opportunity, but we'll see. Honestly, it could just be a committee, and Justin Fields, it might be kind of a similar situation to Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts, where it's like, we'll line up whoever behind us, but the leading rusher is going to be the quarterback. So we'll see. Atik, with those results, your top 3 teams in the rookie draft, does that change your overall top 3 teams in the league going into the rookie draft? Does anybody slot in, or do you feel like your top 3 are still your top 3?
I don't think it changes too much. I think it's still the same. I think it's still the same. I would like to see a little more activity in the league. I think the top teams. I really would like to see a little bit more activity in the league, but the rookie draft doesn't change too much. Dustin, we know you got a powerhouse over there. We know, what is it? Jay Beats, Jared B. He got a power. Yeah, he got a powerhouse over there. Rim, you working with something, and Any Given Sunday, and Baby Drip. I think those are the teams that are realistically contenders this year.
Yeah, I believe my top 3 was Jay Beast, myself, and then Any Given Sunday. I want to say Any Given Sunday was my 3rd place team. The only thing I gotta say is I'm really interested to see how CK Tom's team plays out this year, because he's got Deshaun Watson, which he's gonna take a step up from last year. He was out of football for so long. I think he could be something. He's got the 2 rookie running backs, the 2 best rookie running backs in Gibbs and Robinson. I love his wide receivers, young young talent. Marquise Brown, Traylon Burks, Jahan Dotson, they got upside. Kyle Pitts, if they decide to throw the ball instead of handing it off every 10 plays, he could be something. So he's got a lot of potential. If not next year, he's got Jordan Love, Mac Jones, Tajay Spears. If not next year, if not this year, definitely next year, he's going to be in good shape. But I'm really curious to see how his team shapes out, because I could see him, if those young picks that he picked end up, I think he'll sneakily work his way in the top 3. But like you said, we haven't seen these rookies on the field, so only time will tell. I think for the most part, the top 3s stay the same. But he was my honorable mention, and he's once again the honorable mention. So
I feel like he builds his team like he's playing the stock market.
Yeah, that's true. I think he did a similar thing in the Real Husbands of Fantasy Football League. So let's jump to that one. Who are your Atik? Who are your rookie draft winners?
Okay, let me get it pulled up on mine over here. Once again, let's everybody take a wild guess. Who do you think the winner in this league was?
Can I guess? C.K. Thomas.
Yeah, I mean, let's look at it. Benji, Jamar Gibbs, Jordan Addison, Quentin Johnston, Jalen Hyatt, that running back in Seattle, Zach, and what's his name? My dyslexia won't let me say it.
Charbonnet.
Yeah, Josh Downs, Will Anderson, Tyree Wilson, just a whole nother team over here again. So once again, it's like the guys playing the stock market. Who's gonna win? What stock is gonna go up? What stock is gonna go down? And if it look like it's gonna go down, it's probably gonna sell them. So I like the way he DMs. And the second winner is gonna be a surprise. What's the guys? Arvin Legends. I think for one simple reason. He was weak at tight end and on defense, and he went in the draft with a purpose. He got the top 3 tight ends in the draft. Fucked around and got Jack Campbell and that Van Ness kid in Green Bay, who I think is going to be a stud. So I think he improved his defense, which he definitely had to do, and he improved his tight end room, which was definitely a need in a full point tight end premium league. That's definitely a must. So good job, kid. Good job.
So those are your 2, huh?
Yep. Honorable mention. Hold on. Where's it at? I gotta check PD Boy. Because he's always got these picks. Oh nope, just CJ Stroud over here and Nolan Smith. Okay, and then Simpson. So nope, those are my 2. I had to give PD Boy his respect because I know he loved those picks.
All right. Well, I'll go real quickly. Obviously, C.K. Thomas, my number 1. I'm not going to waste much time on that. You pretty much said it. He drafted a whole goddamn team, and let's move on with that. My second one's going to go to Lou Moon.
Yeah, he had a good draft too.
Yeah, he had a good draft. He got Bryce, Devin A. Chain, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Jonathan Mingo. I think he had a nice little draft. And then I think I chose Any Given Sunday as my third, as last in the other league as well, but I'm gonna give it to him again. You got Anthony Richardson, which if that pans out, he got one of the a dominating quarterback, but time will tell. Kendra Miller, who I think is in a good position, especially with the Alvin Kamara legal issues. Zay Flowers, we talked about him. And then he got a defensive player. But I think those are my 3 winners. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't remember who I had as my top 3. I don't feel like looking back over. But adding rookies who haven't played on the field yet, it's hard. You don't know if they're gonna hit truly. So whatever my top 3 was, it's gonna stay. It's gonna stay until we see otherwise on the field.
I feel you. I feel you. I think yeah, Lou Moon was my third. That's right. Lou Moon was my third. And I agree with you. I don't think much has changed since the rookie draft. I just think what was it, Arvin Legends, I think he definitely improved his team. And I just think through trades, and when I got TJ Hawkinson and what happened with Madison, I think that definitely helped my team, not through the draft, but I was already a top 3 team, so that made it even better. So I am coming for you, DeChronic.
Awesome. Well, Rem, you got anything to add?
Oh no, y'all didn't mention Sir Hootalot.
Who?
Sir Hootalot. He didn't have a real a pick really until the 3rd round. He picked Will Levis in the 1st, but I kind of like his value picks that he has in the 3rd, like Tillman and I can't say his name. Yeah, your boy from the Jets. Then you got Musgrave, Tank Dell, Zach Evans. I feel like he had like a dark horse rookie fantasy draft.
I mean, he had a lot of picks, but like
I know, but I think some of his picks over here might pan out because I mean, I don't know. I like all those, like his whole 3rd round I like. And then I can't really say much for the 4th round, maybe Butte. Maybe, but I don't know. I do like his 3rd round. That's a lot of good value picks right there.
I
That
got some.
depending on when the draft was, those picks might be going early 2nd round, because that's what happened to me in our draft. I drafted Tank Dell in the 4th, and in another draft he went in the 2nd. I don't know. I'm just saying I like his value picks that he got. Feel like he got a lot of bang for his buck.
I like Black Star and Jay Beats still to have the best team, but I want to throw something at y'all. What about Waller Ballers? Was it Cat 72? I think the draft hurt him, with he has Tyler Algier there, and we all know Atlanta drafted Benji. I think the Jacksonville drafted more running backs too, and he has Travis Etienne there. So I just think he's one of the people with the draft and may have hurt his team a little bit. I'm not
Which
sure he
team?
has. Was it Cat 72?
K-Tat 72.
K-Tat 72? Yeah. I think the draft actually hurt his team a little more.
Let me pull it up real quick. Kate Sat, Waller Ballers. Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. Again, it's too soon. Too soon to tell. He's got Sam Howell on a bench who could very well win the quarterback competition. I think he will. So he could slot him in the super flex. I think Algier got hurt, or not hurt, but he got fucked with them
D-Rob.
drafting Dion. Yeah. I don't Damian Pierce. I'm out on Damian Pierce.
Really?
Yeah, I think he just got overhyped. They brought in Singletary. They're not going to be a good team. Houston's not going to be a good team. They're going to be, at the bottom of the league. Therefore, they're not going to be running that much. But I just don't know what. That's one player that is not going to be in my team. I don't know where to draft him, even if I was going to pick him. I don't know, man. He just got so hyped up last year, and rightfully so. But he just touched the ball so many times. He didn't have anybody else there, and once again, he wasn't a high draft capital in NFL. So, and this isn't the regime that. And another thing is, again, situations change. This isn't the regime that drafted him, and they went in and brought in their guy in Devin Singletary. So, I don't know what to think about him.
I think you're crazy, man. Devin Singletary is a decent running back that's old. That
Bullshit.
oh, you think he's young?
Excuse me.
And I don't know. I think Dameon Pierce is going to be the starter. And I mean,
There's only 25.
Devin Singletary is only 25.
He's only 25 years old.
So he's how old in football years?
I mean,
Like he's old. That's like the beginning and the end for running backs.
Agreed. 25. I like to say get out by 20. I think 25 is still good, but when they hit 26, it's time to start selling.
Yeah,
You know,
just
I
like
think-
Leonardo DiCaprio, bro.
Exactly.
Break
Get 'em
up
out.
with them when they're 25.
By the time they're 28, they're done.
so Atik, you think Pierce is going to be a baller, and you're in on him?
Oh no, he's not even on my board. So
you agree? So what were you saying was bullshit? You think?
oh, that Devin Singletary is a good running back. That's what I was saying is bullshit.
Well,
No.
I never said he was a fucking world beater, but I mean, they brought him in. You know, they brought him in for a reason. They didn't think that Dameon Pierce
He's getting mad.
was gonna.
Our fearless host is getting mad at us right now.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I mean, they don't have faith in Dare Agumbawale, you know, who's behind Dameon Pierce. So
Look, at the end of the day, he's not on my board. And I agree with you. I think he was a product of volume because they had nobody last year.
They had nobody, exactly.
Not even a quarterback who could really pass the ball. So, you know, it's hard to really expect, or it's hard to really know what to expect from a player like that. So it's hard for me to put him on my board when I consider him a mystery. So yeah, Devin Singletary is bull. You know, I call it bullshit on him, but at the same time, you know, that's still a team that's heavily rebuilding. So it's hard for me to really put anybody on that board besides C.J. Stroud and, you know, just C.J. Stroud because I know he'll be throwing the ball. And then a couple of defensive players. That's about it because, you know, I'm an IDP guy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm not saying Devin Singletary will be a starting running back on a fantasy football team, but let me ask you this: where would you draft Dameon Pierce? I just looked up their ADPs. Where would you draft Dameon Pierce? Where would you draft Devin Singletary? Rem, I'm gonna ask you first, since you all trying to be all loud.
Devin Singletary, not to like.
No. Dameon Pierce first, because obviously Pierce is better, so he's gonna go before
6th or 7th round.
Okay.
Depending on who's available, but I definitely consider him 6th or 7th round.
And where would you take Singletary?
Double-digit rounds.
Okay, there's like 20 of them in Dynasty. So
early double digits, like 13, 14.
Okay. So what about you, Atik?
I mean, I'm not taking Dameon Pierce, but I believe he's probably going off the board maybe in anywhere between the 7th and the 9th round. And then Devin Singletary. I think you might want to target him anywhere between around the 14th round, probably.
So y'all said like 6th, 7th, and then y'all both said like early double-digit rounds, 14th. So
I said 7, 8, 6, 7, 8.
Dameon Pierce ADP is 504.
Fuck out of here.
Right? And Singletary is 11.12. So basically the beginning of the 12th. So if you had to pick one, do you think that Pierce is going to – 5th round and 12th round. Do you think Pierce is going to outperform Singletary by that much value? You think, or do you think it's going to be more of a 50-50 split? Do you think it's going to be 60-40? Do you think Pierce is going to, blow Singletary out the water? Do you think 7 rounds is worth?
I would take Pierce because of the unknown. We know what Singletary is. We don't know what Pierce is.
So you're gambling 5th round on.
I'm not taking Pierce in the 5th round though. That's the thing.
Yeah, of course. I'm just making an argument for him.
Okay,
Right.
let's say 6th round. You would still gamble on Damian Pierce in the 6th round when you just said we know what Singletary is, but we don't know what Pierce is. You'd take a 6th round pick with an unknown.
I already told you 6th or 7th round. So yes, depending on who else is there, yes, I would take Pierce if I didn't like anybody else there, and I had to take a running back.
If Pierce is on the board, like in the 8th, 9th, 10th round, and I had to pick a running back.
Okay, I mean, when do you ever get a starting running back in the 8th, 9th, and 10th round? You know,
Exactly.
you don't.
Exactly. I don't see him
So
as a starting
if I won the lottery, I'd be a millionaire. You know, no, that's you're saying shit that's not going to happen. You know, but anyway,
You asking me questions that I would never do, though.
no, I feel you. I feel you. I guess that question was more
I'm just fucking with
directed
you.
towards Rem, but
I'm just fucking with you, boss.
oh look, you know, y'all both stupid like them hoes, so it's all good. But anyway,
And
y'all
you're
got
the hoe
anything
we
else to
stupid
add?
like.
Y'all got anything else to add before we wrap it up? This is a quick show here.
No, I'll let Rim go ahead. Go ahead, Rim.
I ain't got nothing. I'm just happy to be a part of this, and I'm excited to be off for the next couple of days.
Yeah, you're a hardworking man. Ladies and gentlemen who don't know, Rim is the magic behind the curtain. So the man has been working his ass off to provide for his family. So excuse us for the delay. But we think we figured out a way to, get you guys consistent content in the regular season. We don't know what else to talk about before the regular season. But if you guys want content, we'll put it out there. But we might take a break until some action starts around preseason time. Unless you guys make Commish a very happy Commish and do a lot of fucking trading and make it very active and give us something to talk about. But yeah, besides that, I just want to say thank you guys.
That's right. During the season, we plan on doing a weekly podcast. We'll actually have content to talk about. Right now, unless there's a big trade in fantasy or a ton of DeAndre Hopkins and Dalvin Cook and Ezekiel Elliott all go to a team in the same week, there's really not going to be much to talk about. So unless y'all give us some content or y'all give us some suggestions on what y'all want us to talk about or whatever, I don't know when we're going to record again, but we'll have to play that by ear. But all right, well, thank y'all for joining us. As always, I'm Dustin. That's Rem. That's Atik. Thank y'all for listening, and we look forward to the season. So